Hello. Should do a fire intro, like Paradox wants. It's lucrative, Juliana. Fireworks to the Octagon and all that shit. Alright, yo, so I'm in New York, and last time I was here, my pick rate went down really, really far. So not like here, like her apartment, just like generally. But I was here for 6 weeks. It's kind of crashing out in January. So this is different. This is redemption from that. So yeah, no. So yeah, UFC, fucking Des Moines. It's the epicenter of MMA. Des Moines, Iowa, and Cody Sandhagen, Figueiredo, Davison Figueiredo, main event. Yeah, this.
Bottom.
Yeah. Not you good. Face down. So. Anyway, this is Miesha. You might remember her. She outpicked me on Vittori Delite, which is a card that never happened, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, alright, so, like, this prediction video is last minute. Forgive me. Alright, I was traveling, okay? Then I actually watched the weigh-ins, which, I have to say, was a cause for alarm on one of these predictions. But regardless, let's get into this card, because it's goddamn last minute as fuck. Alright. What is the first fight?
Juliana Miller and Ivana Petrovic.
I want to pull it up on your computer.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
I have her here.
Oh, nice. Alright, yeah. Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic. Alright, so look, Juliana Miller has a 4-3 record. Alright. She's, I mean, only in WMMA can you get away with that. Really. She has finishing ability. She can grapple, but, she lost a unanimous decision to Veronica Hardy. She was knocked out by, Santos, right? Yeah. I mean, in the first round, too, Santos is not the greatest. I mean, Ivana Petrovic just looks, 7-2, she's from Croatia, like, just like Yuri. She's a little long in the tooth and forehead and face. And, Jamie Lynn Horth beat her by split decision. Probably a robbery, is what most Jamie Lynn Horth fights. Submission ability. She's had 3 UFC fights. She's 1-2 in the UFC. But, I think she's better everywhere. She, in the actual octagon, she has a win, which Juliana Miller does not. This is kind of like, it's almost a lock because, Petrovic is just, like, that much better, and it's a WMMA fight. It's pretty much after this fight that this fight and possibly the next, that the card actually gets good. But I'm taking Petrovic. Taking Petrovic hard.
Yeah. Also taking Petrovic. Juliana Miller.
Just data points, by the way.
Yeah.
giving Bodak a run for his money.
She doesn't have very good striking defense. She doesn't do well under pressure. I'm talking about Juliana Miller right now. Yeah. Petrovic, I think, just like you said, well-rounded. And
she's a 4-inch reach advantage, and she strikes a lot.
Yeah.
Strikes
better striker. And
strikes less, higher accuracy. I hate to read off stats, but there's only so much.
Petrovic is also the better grappler, so.
Yeah. Word. Ivana Petrovic.
Yeah.
Petrovic, whatever. Alright, next fight.
Next fight is Thomas Petersen versus Don'Tale Mayes.
Okay, so this fight, the weigh-ins, right, swayed me a little bit, but not completely. So I'm still taking Petersen. The reason for that, I mean, Don'Tale Mayes, he fought recently. He weighed in right at he even took the extra pound at heavyweight. Now, the reason I say the weigh-in swayed me is because he got down to 259, which for Don'Tale Mayes, is, I mean, he seems like he put effort into, not getting, ragdolled by Voltaire Walker. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what happened last time. And that's coming off a loss to Shamil Gaziev, which was, I mean, not one of Gaziev's finer performances. He kind of just, used his obesity to crush another obese man's obesity, but yeah, no, Don'Tale Mayes is, he did do what, the same thing as, Tom Aspinall, though. Both of them can say that they knocked out Andrei Arlovsky in the second round. That was 2 years ago, but since that fight, Don'Tale Mayes has fought 4 times, and he is relatively active. For a heavyweight that lingers outside the rankings. He lost to Nascimento, which is pretty awful. Nascimento, who got cut after being, after losing to Romanov, who also got cut after that fight. Thomas Petersen has a significant size disadvantage. 5 inches shorter and 7 inches of reach disadvantage. But I mean, I think that just means that fucking get his ass right over here. God. Yeah. I think that just means he gets inside and tries to strike. Hopefully to the body. Jesus. Hopefully to the body. And basically, Thomas Petersen, he had a run in LFA, that was pretty good. He was briefly champion, which he lost that to Waldo Cortez Acosta, who needs to get a real opponent so he can truck through, Cortez Acosta pisses me off. But anyway, although Don'Tale Mayes could kind of just maraud on him and, just given the size advantage, hopefully Petersen is, able to, do something with, utilize his, his being way smaller to get inside and actually attack Don'Tale Mayes. He beat Muhammad Usman. He can also wrestle. He did a submission win on the Contender Series. He lost to Jamal Pogues, which pisses me off.
Yeah.
So she disagrees.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm going with Don'Tale Mayes. He's got much more UFC experience. He's lost better.
He has fought better
people. And he's got good power shots. I think Petersen gets tired.
I mean, they're both big.
They both whatever.
But they both gas out.
Yeah.
Petersen has maybe so Don'Tale Mayes might have a round of cardio. Petersen has a round and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm right. I mean, with God's help.
I think because he has more experience and he's bigger and he has powerful shots, he's gonna be able to win. I also think that Petersen has poor striking defense, and he struggled in UFC level competition. So the Pogues. Yeah. Yeah. So. I
mean, they're both on struggle street.
Yeah.
Adversity Avenue.
Yeah.
Boulevard. Yeah, no, it's they're both fairly disgraceful, but I mean, yeah, I think Petersen has it. So I'm gonna go with Petersen. MMA Guru and Miesha are going with Mase. But it's gonna be Petersen.
No, it's gonna be Mase.
It's gonna be Petersen. Next fight.
Dontail Mase. I think it's funny that his name is Dontail.
Yeah.
Yeah, tail.
Yeah.
Like I've heard Dante, but never Dontail.
Damn.
So, yeah, he's gonna win.
Should interview his parents.
His parents.
If you could find them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next fight, Gaston Bolanos versus Quang Le.
Yeah. So this is a fight where I don't know. I mean, this is another like, just who's the less mediocre. Well, actually, I say that, but Gaston Bolanos is fairly new to the UFC. No, he's not. Wait. Yeah.
No.
I mean, he's had 3 fights. He's 2-3 or 2-1. He got knocked out by Marcus McGee, which is not anything to be ashamed of. He beat Chrysalis Ramius. And he won his debut. Against Aaron Phillips, which is like, yeah. Aaron Phillips got subbed by Jack Shore in his only other UFC fight. Hasn't fought since 2023. Yeah. I mean, that's not a crazy one. But, Quang Le, didn't he was just, wasn't he just finished? He was just finished by who? Someone not good. Oh yeah, he got knocked out by Long in Yana versus Figueiredo. I keep putting on Figueiredo cards. He went the distance with Chris Gutierrez in his debut.
He lost.
Of course, yeah. But he wasn't fit. I mean, Chris Gutierrez does not. I mean, he knocked out Frankie Edgar in Edgar's retirement fight. Gutierrez is not nothing special. He barely beat John Castaneda last week. And I think, I mean, honestly, like, Quang Le comes from LFA, which so I mean, so do so many fighters, but Bolanos is in Bellator. He came into the UFC off a knockout, first round knockout in Bellator. He's got an 8-4 record, which is like pretty. Yeah, actually, I'll be honest. Like, I mean, he debuted in Bellator. All these, he's fought real opponents. Yeah, I mean, I have to go with Bolanos. He's better.
Yeah.
It's just, like, I mean, it's gonna be, probably some kind of 29-28, like, annoyingly close fight, or maybe, I don't know, who knows, maybe Bolanos, hits him with an axe kick or some crazy upset shit. Well, that wouldn't be an upset, but yeah.
Yeah, I also take Bolanos.
Nice.
Yeah. He's got a good striking background. He's fought high-level MMA, and I don't know, grappling is a liability, though, and he tends to struggle when he's under pressure. But
Quang Le, honestly, applying pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, next fight.
And Quang Le's defense isn't very well. Like, striking defense isn't very good. So.
Word. Next fight.
Okay, next fight is Marina Rodriguez versus your
hero, Gillian Robertson. I made you change your pick. Alright, look.
Gillian Robertson.
Gillian, of the female MMA fighters in the UFC, Gillian Robertson is, in the, like, maybe 10% that are very exciting to watch. I say that because of, her fight against, who does she fight in Canada? Yes, Yana, who just got her throat crushed by what's her name? Jacqueline Anderson. Yeah, she was taken to the ground, subjugated, and just eventually, beaten into submission by Gillian Robertson, who went on to retire Michelle Waterson-Gomez, Luana Pinheiro. Yeah, like Gillian Robertson's kind of an animal, actually. She lost to Tabitha Ricci forever ago. I don't think that means anything. Not, going forward. Marina Rodriguez, who did they match her up against that? Or was it just like... Yeah, Jacqueline Andrade beat her by split decision at UFC 300. And Jessica Andrade is very hit or miss. She can get crazy finishes, or she can get finished. Occasionally the boring split decision. To lose Marina Rodriguez, Yasmin Lucindo beat her, and remember I had Lucindo in that fight based on Marina Rodriguez's loss to Andrade, and I was right. She also beat Michelle Waterson-Gomez. She finished her, but Michelle Waterson-Gomez is pretty terrible. So in her last 5 fights, Marina Rodriguez is 1-4. She went the distance with Jandarova, which, Marina Rodriguez is pretty helpless. I think Gillian Robertson's a lock. You almost took Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah, I originally had Marina Rodriguez, but then I was influenced. Not just by you.
Right.
Yes.
But you believe in Gillian Rodriguez.
Yeah, I believe in her, but I don't know. Robertson's kind of she's really good grappler, really good on the ground, and she's been improving with her striking. So.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I'm going with her now, but I did originally have Rodriguez.
Nice. All right. Well, Gillian Robertson. Next fight.
All right. Next fight. Ryan Loder versus Azamat Bekoev.
Exactly.
Bekoev.
Exactly. Alright, so Ryan Loder, he did really well in The Ultimate Fighter. He, a long time ago in UFL, knocked out, Jesus. He did not knock out Edmund Shabazian. Wrong Shabazian. No, he basically, he looked good on the contender, on the Ultimate Fighter, rather. And then in his debut, as they do with Ultimate Fighter finales, he fought Robert Valentine, finished him in the second round. Looked very good. But Azamat Bekoev, I believe was a short notice replacement for came in against Zachary Reese. People think Reese's was a layup for this guy who's was an LFA champion. The thing about that is that Azamat Bekoev is a competent mixed martial artist, very good everywhere.
Yeah.
The Zachary Reese fight was not. Zachary Reese is no joke. Despite the Cody Brundage debut knockout, Zachary Reese has huge knockout power. He finished Julian Marquez. Which, you could argue doesn't say much, but, Azamat Bekoev, though, he's just, his, Ryan Loder's outclassed, essentially. Despite being older, Ryan Loder's got, a decent wrestling background. His striking's not bad either, but Bekoev is just, he's shorter with a reach disadvantage. He's definitely gonna be more aggressive though. He has way more power.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Loder's not going to be able to out-wrestle him.
Yeah.
Either. Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, I don't know if Ryan Loder even gets him to the ground. He's going to try to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Bekoev stuffs any takedowns. I think he could take him to the ground on his own terms. Take Loder to the ground on his own terms. If Bekoev winds up on top, it's over. On the feet, I think it's over. But for Loder.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Azamat Bekoev, it's hard to see. It's like Ryan Loder could get lucky. I doubt it. Doubt it very highly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Bekoev, I think he's better, like, overall, and like well-rounded.
Say well-rounded.
Huh?
Say well-rounded one more time.
Why? What's wrong with well-rounded?
It's like guidance counselor.
He's extremely well-rounded. Exceptionally well-rounded. And I think he's like he also is adaptable. Like he adapts mid-fight well. So I think he's gonna be able to do that in case he needs to. And I agree with you that Loder's gonna try to wrestle early, but I think Bekoev has handled that in the past well. So
nice.
He'll be able to.
All right, sick. Nice fight.
Yeah.
This fight.
Yana Santos versus Miesha Tate.
Okay, so I'm taking Miesha Tate. This fight annoys me because Yana Santos is, despite being 2-3 in her last UFC fights, and not being able to finish Chelsea Chandler the way that Jocelyn Edwards just did in the first round. Miesha Tate's not what she used to be. She's older, and she basically she's a little bit. They're pretty much the same size. I don't know necessarily that the Miesha Tate on the feet. The way this fight probably goes, in my opinion, is that Yana Santos wins a round on the feet. Miesha Tate takes it to the ground. She submitted Julia Avila, but that was December 2023. She hasn't fought since. So, there's that. But, I think that Miesha Tate does always... she seems to look for finishes. She is 2-3 as well in her last 5 UFC fights. But she has not got power still. She's better on the ground, I think. I think she will try to take it to the ground. Her jiu-jitsu is better by far, actually. I think she takes it to the ground and, tries to lock up a submission, or at the very least, wins a 29-28 unanimous decision by, just maintaining top control of Sidey.
Yeah. And
but
Santos isn't really good with wrestling.
Grappling in general.
Grappling, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't think Tate has better fight IQ, so I feel like there's more ways for her to figure out how to win.
Yeah. I think the vulnerability of Santos is getting taken down. I think Miesha Tate's gonna be looking for an opening like that.
Yeah.
If Miesha Tate,
I think Santos is good enough to make it competitive, but I don't think.
No, definitely. If Miesha Tate fails to win this fight, it's because she allowed it to be kept on the feet. Yeah. Yana Santos is probably gonna be wary of
slower hands.
Yeah, she's nowhere near as good a striker, but if she Yana Santos is probably gonna be wary of getting takedown shot on her, so and almost could go either way, but I think Miesha Tate handles it just by way of experience and decent enough game plan. So Miesha Tate.
Yep. Tate.
Miesha Tate.
Alright, cool. Next fight. Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones.
So Jeremy, what it's like what the fuck is Jeremy Stephens thinking? Like, I mean, he was in the Jeremy Stephens had a long career. He's 29 and 21, which is rough. He was in, so if anyone doesn't know, Jeremy Stephens was in the UFC way back 2007 he debuted. He was up and down. And I'm saying back then, he didn't really, he had his day. Knocked out RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos, but, he also, he lost fights to some absolute no-name fighters, UFC. Wow, he fought on Mir versus Krokov, lost a split decision. Knocked out Marcus Davis. Yeah, and he lost to Anthony Pettis by a split decision back in the day. Donald Cerrone pieced him up. 2012, jeez. And then, he lost to Frankie Edgar, but, it was when Edgar was more or less in his prime. Renato Moicano at featherweight beat him by split decision.
Knocked out by
Calvin Kattar.
Kattar.
Or did Moicano go up to lightweight for that fight? I don't remember. But that was forever ago. He was knocked out by Jose Aldo, which at that time was nothing to be ashamed of. Yair Rodriguez, and then it was just over for him. Pretty much after Aldo knocked him out, he was finished by Calvin Kattar, submitted by Gamrot in just over a minute. Lost to Clay Collard. He took Miles Price to a split decision. He won a split decision against Miles Price. And this is now in PFL. His last 3 fights have been in PFL, which, and he was 1-2. The return to the UFC is it's like, why? Now, Mason Jones is, Mason Jones, may be promising. Me taking Jones so completely, as a lock has more to do with, where Jeremy Stephens is at, but, Mason Jones, he's Cage Warriors, good promotion. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He also has fought in the UFC. He took Loder decline to a decision loss. He beat David Onama, which is definitely aged well. Lost to Mike Davis. His Cage Warriors career is he undefeated in Cage Warriors? Yeah, he is. He's only
champ.
Yeah,
and welterweight.
Yeah. But his only 2 losses were in the UFC to Mike Davis and Loder decline, which is not unimpressive. You consider they beat David Onama. I think people seem to think that he's gonna wrestle Jeremy Stephens. I don't know why. I don't know why he wouldn't strike and try to just knock Stephens out immediately. Definitely, absolutely taking Mason Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Stephens is old and past his prime. And I think the only way that he could actually win is if he knocked him out somehow in the first round. But other than that, I think Mason Jones, like you said, had a good Cage Warriors time. He's just a better, more aggressive fighter, I think.
Yeah.
And then he did have some UFC losses, but they were competitive ones.
Mason Jones title run.
Yeah.
Mason Jones versus Islam. Alright. Next fight.
Next fight is... I don't know how to say it.
What?
Cameron Smotherman.
Yeah.
And Serhi Sidey.
Is that undecipherable?
His first name? Serhi Sidey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this fight is where everyone disagrees with me.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, but you, Bodak. I don't think you're. It doesn't matter though, because Cameron Smotherman is gonna win. Cameron Smotherman came in to the UFC. First UFC fight, right? Very short notice against Jake Hadley. He came in from Fury Fight Club, off of a submission with an anaconda choke submission win. He had lost his Contender Series fight to Grigoriou, who went on to lose a decision. Then, if I remember, he got submitted by Kazana, which I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that he let that happen. But anyway, Smotherman's striking against Jake Hadley was fire. On short notice, he came in. He was just dictating the pace of that fight. I think one judge gave him a 30-26. And Serhi Sidey. So Sidey was he fought was it Ramon? Yeah, he fought Ramon Tavares in the Contender Series, right? Yeah. He knocked out Ramon Tavares, and then they, for whatever reason, they booked him on a rematch. And Ramon Tavares, I mean, that was a good fight. It was pretty evenly matched. Tavares won by split decision, which I thought was a robbery a bit. But then Serhi Sidey went on to fight Garrett Armfield, and that fight last November, I felt was a blatant robbery. But it did go his way, and I did profit off of it. But robbery being a robbery, I think Serhi Sidey at welterweight, being 5'11", I mean, if you went up to, I'm sorry, bantamweight, right? Did I not say bantamweight? I think if you went up to featherweight, he'd have much more of a shot at, just being able to, because I mean, he's primarily a striker, pretty much only a striker, and I mean, I think that Smotherman is just gonna shove him around the octagon, to be honest. Smotherman's just faster. He's faster. He's faster. He strikes more. He's got more power. He just comes out in flurries. He's and
I don't think he's more powerful.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's more powerful. I think he's faster. I think he throws more, but I don't think he's necessarily a more powerful striker. I think Sidey lands harder.
Really?
Yes, and more accurately.
You're just reading stats.
No, I'm reading my analysis. And I also think Smotherman is still developing overall.
Seriously, not. Seriously, doesn't have a long way to go. He's ready for a title shot.
No. I don't think he's ready for a title shot, but I think Smotherman is definitely more development there that is necessary than Sidey.
But you didn't watch the Jake Hadley fight.
I did not.
Yeah, I'm gonna humiliate you in Bodak tomorrow. Well, actually, Cameron Smotherman is gonna do that for me. I'm just gonna brag. Now, honestly, Serhi Sidey, he looked terrible at the weigh-ins. But,
No, I think he's a powerful striker. And I think He can be a little bit like low volume, but I don't think that I still think he's gonna win. No, and like Smotherman has like defensive gaps. Didn't he get knocked out by who did he get knocked out by? Gregorio.
Yeah, I mean contenders
in under a minute.
Yeah.
So
I think he's come a long way.
He's got
Gregorio. I mean,
he's got some gaps.
Yeah. See, it's never got so. Yeah, I think Smotherman's gonna knock him out, or at the very least, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he could win if he knocked him out quickly. But if he doesn't knock him out quickly, then I think that increases his chances of losing.
If he doesn't knock him out quickly, he's gonna shove him around the ring for the entire. Yeah. I mean, Sidey's to the point where Sidey's gonna have to clinch or try to, and it won't work. But yeah. Yeah.
Sidey has a lot of like first and second round knockouts though.
Yeah. Where though?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I can pull it up.
Nah. His opponents before the UFC are pretty trash. But no. Yeah, I think it's Smotherman.
I say Sidey. We shall see.
Yeah. Smotherman. Next fight.
Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos.
Alright. So this is the thing about Daniel Marcos. He's undefeated, right? 17-0. That is very, very, upon closer inspection, obviously, very illusory, almost. So he just thought he just beat Adrian Yana by split decision. He has what I consider to be a robbery split decision over Davey Grant. He beat John Castaneda, but Castaneda gave him a huge run for his money. He always seems to eke out wins. I mean, he's at his finishes, but basically, he had finished his debut. Yes, and Simon Oliveira, but Simon Oliveira, man. Simon Oliveira is trash. He got beat by Daniel Martinez. Or David Martinez, I'm sorry. That was, that was recently. It was very recently, actually. That was on the Mexico card. Yeah, I just don't think that Marcos is, has the ability to, and is Montel Jackson not ranked? He is. So they're giving Marcos a shot at the Reiniers. It's weird. Huh. But I feel like, okay, so that is the situation. Sorry. Sorry, man. I say Benedict because they're fucking cats. Or cats are, which I do love, but goddamn cat hairs in my eyes.
You're going with Montel?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I think he can knock him out. I mean, I think Marcos is a bit fragile. He knows Marcos knows how to win fights, obviously. Yeah. He is a bit of a point fighter, but I think it's only a matter of time until he gets checked, and I think Montel Jackson checks him. So next fight.
Yeah. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez.
Daniel
Rodriguez.
So Santiago Ponzinibbio, I mean, they're the same age. Ponzinibbio's getting up there, for the career that he had. Once upon a time at welterweight, he did finish Sean Strickland, but he still has finishing ability. In January, he knocked out Carlson Harris. I mean, he didn't knock him out. I mean, that was he finished him. I don't know if that was an early stoppage, might have been, but I think that was over for him. I mean, Carlson Harris. I mean, it was 1-1 going into the third. It was a little bit competitive. I mean, the Muslim Salikov loss ages well, given Salikov's fight right after that. was knocked out by Kevin Holland, which is terrible. He knocked out Alex Morono. Lost a couple of split decisions, but he took Jeff Neal to a split decision, which Ponzinibbio lost. But I mean, that's Jeff Neal in 2021. He was knocked out by Li Jingliang, but he beat Neil Magny when Neil Magny was still good. By knockout. Mike Perry knocked out Gunnar Nelson, knocked out Court McGee, which is not the easiest thing to do. Beat Sean Strickland by decision. Actually, he didn't finish Sean Strickland. He knocked him out. I'm sorry. He did beat Sean Strickland. He did not knock him out. Sorry. I'm anxious to get this video out. So, under the influence of fucking Benadryl. It's making me drowsy.
Aww.
Yeah. I mean, you could always
What?
Actually, you did. I was gonna say wash.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Good job.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ponzinibbio. I think they're both good strikers, but I think Ponzinibbio is a better striker with more knockout power. Rodriguez throws more punches, I think, but
you think
Ponzinibbio lands more.
You think you're reading the strike sign per minute?
What?
It said you think you're reading the strike sign per minute.
I can't remember.
I said you think that, or you're reading the strikes landed per minute.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm reading the strikes landed per minute.
So, D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, he beat Alex Morono by split decision, which Alex Morono he's been disgraceful, more disgraceful with each fight. Rodriguez lost to Kelvin Gastelum last year. He was knocked out by Ian Gary, which is crazy.
Yeah.
A bit, and then before that, submitted by Neil Magny, when Neil Magny was less good, for sure. He did win a split decision over Li Jingliang, which is, what was that? Oh, that was Diaz versus Ferguson. Yeah, that was a while ago. He's been in the UFC forever. Yeah, was his first UFC fight? Yeah, he basically came off the Contender Series and submitted Tim Means, Gabe Green, Dwight Graham. His losses, though, are all to very good opponents, but, Dalby, Ian Gary, Magny, but he almost lost to Alex Morono, and that was, I feel like he's just far more washed. Ponzinibbio is, a once amazing fighter who's, washed to a point, but Daniel Rodriguez was never particularly talented, and, he's definitely, his best days are behind him. So yeah, Santiago Ponzinibbio for sure.
Ponzinibbio.
What the fuck is that?
It's my alarm.
Alright. Next fight.
Reinier de Ridder versus Bo Nickal.
Yes. So, Bo Nickal would have to be stupid to keep this on the feet. Reinier de Ridder's striking is very strange. But, I think that Nickal shoots the takedown. Nickal's gonna have to, and probably will, be, very, very aggressive, trying to get rid of the ground. Bo Nickal takes him to the ground, is pretty much over, I think. Reinier de Ridder has done well in his 2 UFC fights, finishing Miesha, finishing Kevin Holland, both by submission. So I mean, it'll be interesting on the ground, but he did get bullied by Anatoly Malikin, who chased him across 2 divisions to win the belt off of him. He was knocked out both times. Fought in one other promotion after one, and the UFC took him.
But DeRitter has submitted a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, DeRitter's jiu-jitsu is very good.
Yeah.
Bo Nickal, aside from his last fight, which was against Paul Craig, his submissions are, I mean, he knocked out Val Woodburn because that was easy. But other than that...
He's growing in his submissions, but...
I mean, yeah, you have to understand the wrestling background of Bo Nickal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Craig, him fighting Paul Craig, the way they were fighting was just basically 2 grapplers afraid to, engage. So, I mean, I don't subscribe to, somebody only being as good as the last fight. And, I mean, I think Bo Nickal killed him. Just in the ground, locked something up.
Yeah, I also agree. I think he's just a better wrestler. And,
Yeah.
Will probably control the match.
Alright, main event.
Okay, main event is Cory Sandhagen versus
Davison
Figueiredo.
Yes. What do you have to say about this fight?
What do I have to say?
Yeah.
I think Cory Sandhagen's gonna win.
Yes.
Yes.
I do say.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Why is he gonna
win? I think he has better footwork. I think he's a better striker.
Oh.
I think he has better cardio. I think his IQ's better. His fight IQ, and he has size advantage. I think he's a little weak with his wrestling defense, but
really?
I think everything else makes up for it.
He's weak with his wrestling defense?
Yeah.
Are you basing that off the Umar fight? Or?
With his fights against Sterling and Dillashaw.
I mean, they both lost to Peter to Jan. Sandhagen fought for the belt against Jan. That was a decent fight. He lost to TJ Dillashaw when Dillashaw was he knocked out Frankie Edgar, knocked out Marlon Moraes, which is an achievement. Considering Merab did the same thing, but after the first round where Moraes almost finished Merab. So his fight against Umar actually broke a 3-fight win streak. He finished Sandhagen on. Doctor stoppage. But he fought Marlon Barrett, split decision. Figueiredo, won a. Well, it was 29-28, and it was very competitive. Figueiredo versus Marlon Barrett. I think honestly, Figueiredo did better than people, seem to acknowledge. Against Jan. Against Jan. And moving up to bantamweight was definitely the move for him. He lost to Jan. He's older by enough to where if he wants anything, or any chance rather of getting a title shot, he's he has to win this fight. I don't think he's gonna be able to. Sandhagen on the other hand, could potentially fight for the belt at some point. The Rob Font fight that he headlined last year was pretty abysmal. At catch weight 140, but regardless, Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Dude, it's Benadryl.
It's so funny how Benadryl affects you.
I mean, anyone.
I know, but like, I thought you'd be stronger than this.
Stronger than what? I'm fucking.
Fucking Benadryl.
Listen, Smotherman's gonna kill us. So, it's obvious.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cory Sandhagen, though. I mean.
Yeah.
You know, the more and more I think about it, the more and more of a lock Cory Sandhagen is. I mean, Figueiredo's probably gonna. I mean, yeah, he'll make it competitive, but it's a 5-round fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, it's not a cardio issue for either of them, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Sandhagen's striking is, or actually Figueiredo's striking is probably as good as.
It's pretty good.
Sandhagen's.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I just don't see it for him.
Yeah. I think the way that Figueiredo could win is if he applied like pressure early.
Pressure
In the first couple rounds.
Pressure in what form?
I don't know, like in all the ways. But I think over the course of 5 rounds, which it will probably go, Sandhagen is going to come out on top.
I think it's going to be a good decision.
Hmm?
You think it'll go to a decision?
Yeah, I think it's going to go to.
I mean, Figueiredo was the flyweight champion. Him and Brandon Marina had 4 fights, I think.
Yeah.
Like trading the belt up. But yeah. Yeah, Cory. As much as I would love Figueiredo and Cory Sandhagen probably has this.
Mm-hmm.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so picks are Ivana Petrovic, Thomas Petersen, Gaston Bolanos, Gillian Robertson, Azamat Bekoev, Miesha Tate, Mason Jones, Cameron Smotherman, Montel Jackson, Santiago Ponzinibbio, and Cory Sandhagen. Yeah. Oh, Bo Nickal, of course.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. Alright. Let me get this video up before the goddamn fight start. Sorry for the last minute shit. I promise that my 30-15 videos will be out like Tuesday or Wednesday latest. Peace.